speaking. So over to you, Harbin.
Thank you, Devi. Thank you both Bobby and Devi. And I really happy to organize this. Though I know the Burmese people are not really happy at this moment. So we are really wanted to convey our solidarity with our friends and comrades in Burma because they are facing serious difficulties. We know as though we didn't have a military regime in our country, we have the experience of such difficulties what you are undergoing right now. So we thought that we need to express our solidarity. We want to work with you hand in hand. We want to build up a global movement to face this type of situations in our world. So in that, actually, we wanted to organize this as our friends in South Asian Solidarity Forum, probably Bobby Ramkat from India. And now we agreed the webinar will be moderated by Debbie Stopard. And I would like to invite Bobby and just to introduce her before before she begins. So I think since 1981, Debbie, she started work as a crime reporter and government advisor.
Not clear.
Is it not clear?
It's clear.
Hello? Is it not clear?
I can hear you.
Yes, it is clear. It is clear.
Yeah.
But I got a message that it's not clear. So she's an educator, government advisor, human rights advocate. In 1996, she founded All Seeing and in Burma to develop innovative human rights training and advocacy programs. She's a member of AsiaNet corporate capital.
For us to express our solidarity to each other, including to the ongoing struggles of farmers and fisherfolk and people affected by conflict in Sri Lanka, as well as the farmer struggle in India, which is ongoing. And it's there also an opportunity for them to express solidarity with friends and comrades from Burma, Myanmar, who have been suffering from an oppressive military for decades, for many decades. The similarities between Sri Lanka and Burma and the connections are so strong. Both countries have gone through decades of conflict. Both countries have also had to deal with ultra nationalism from a religious group. And both countries still have people suffering from long-term effects of forced displacement. And both countries have been denied access to transitional justice. And that's perhaps why we are now back in the situation. After 9 years of tentative transition, Burma is once again under a military regime which would like to make us believe it is a kinder and gentler version of pre-military regimes. But the developments in past few days and in the past few hours tell us this is not true. We are still, this is still the same brutal military regime which gunned down peaceful protesters even in 1988, in 2007, and in other occasions. This evening, we have the privilege of welcoming a very diverse group of speakers from Burma, Myanmar. And I'm going to start with ladies first. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge Kin Oma, advisor of Progressive Voice, and welcome Zunmo, executive director of Progressive Voice, which has a key role in working across diverse groups in Burma to ensure grassroots voices are heard in regional and international advocacy. Progressive Voice has been highlighting and disseminating the demands of the movement, and I'd like to offer the floor for a few minutes, briefly, for Zunmo to express what the demands are of Progressive Voice in this situation, and what we hope to get in terms of solidarity from our friends and our colleagues from the South Asia Solidarity Forum. Zunmo, can you please unmute your mic and share with us what the demands are? I can't find Zunmo now. I just saw her just now. Zunmo, Kinoma, are you there from Progressive Voice? Oh, Zunmo, you're here. Zunmo is here. Zunmo, would you like to speak up? Don't be Anna.
Oh, hey, so, sorry, Debbie, I was away from my laptop.
Zunmo, we are inviting you to express the demands of the movement that Progressive Voice has been advocating in these past few weeks. Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, I would like to, but sorry, Debbie, can you give me for a sec, because I just got back from, my baby, my son was crying. So sorry, yeah.
Okay, Ano, are you ready? Can you share, are you ready to speak, Ano, so that I can introduce you?
Yes,
okay.
yes, thanks. I can start.
Wait. Let me introduce you, because Ano is an ethnic Kachin and human rights advocate. She's a feminist who grew up and spent her early adulthood working with grassroots communities in Kachin State and continues to stay in close touch with her roots. In 2011, when the war resumed in Kachin State after a 17-year ceasefire, Ano was sent to the US for the first time to urge member states of the UN General Assembly to halt the Tatmadaws blockade of humanitarian assistance. Ano holds a master's in public administration from Syracuse University, a diploma in political science from Yangon University, and a bachelor of commerce from Manyua Economic Institute in Burma. Ano, as a Kachin feminist who has been dealing and supporting communities facing renewed war in the past 9 years already, what are the demands of the Kachin movement?
Thanks, Debbie. Okay, before I start talking about the demand, I wanted to give a little bit of what's going on now, and then what I'll call. So as all of you already know, that there is a protest, and of course in Kachins there is millions of Kachins. We have joined the protest, and in Kachin's protester, they have been attacked, beaten, shot with rubber bullets, slingshots, and also arrested by the military. Early this week, 5 young activists who joined the protest got arrested again in Putao, and many young people are also in Waran now. In this protest, as I have mentioned, hundreds, thousands of people joined. My grandmother, who has fled from civil war in 2011 and now living in the camp, said military rule must end. Over hundreds, thousands displaced people in Kachin and other ethnic people from Burma have been suffering for so many years under this military. and we know how it is to live under the regime. I'm sure you already heard how the armed forces handle the peaceful protests. They shot and they killed the peaceful protester in different part of the country, and they are arresting people who join the civil disobedience campaign at night, not in the daytime. Since the military coup, people lost their freedoms, their hope, particularly for the young people, and their security. For people living outside the country, the last 3 weeks they are seeing that Myanmar people are upset because of that. But this is how it has been in the whole time in ethnic areas. With the coup, ethnic people have also lost our freedoms, but because of long-term military oppressions and fighting in ethnic areas, we had less freedoms and rights even before the coup started. Military operations against the ethnic people have been continuous since the beginning of Burma, and they did not stop with the 2010 transition to democracy. Notably, attack against Rohingya has increased and were widespread. And recently, the Karen states and Shan states, villagers are fleeing because Burma military is increasingly attacking. Now there are about 5,400 new IDP in northern Karen states, and millions of Karens actually stay in the refugee camps. My friends Stella No wrote in today's The Diplomat News, and I quote here, "As tragic as the coup may be for the supporter of the NLD, the suffering for Kachins and other ethnic community has never ceased under any of Myanmar administrations." And I agree with her. Looking at the protests, people call for release of the state councilor Aung San Suu Kyi, presidents, and unjust detained people, return power, and call for democracy. However, there are different demands in many ethnic areas. Ethnic movements are calling for the federal democracy and abolishing 2008 constitutions. And I agree, because the 2008 constitutions give power to the military, and they can do whatever they want. Like now, they took control of the state power and attack unarmed civilians. For ethnic people, we are not surprised because military have been attacking with impunity in ethnic areas. For the futures, we need federal democracy that grant the rights and freedoms for everyone in Burma. So my conclusion here is that this coup and what they're doing, the military doing now is illegal, and we do not support it. The 2008 constitution must abolish, and we need rewrite the federal democratic constitution that all ethnic nationality in Myanmar can enjoy the equal rights and freedoms. And lastly, military must release of all those who are currently unjustly detained. And I thank you, Debbie and Sri Lanka friends and South Asian friends that support our call for the federal democracy in Myanmar. And we need regional and international support. And also please advocate for us too. And thank you, Debbie. And thank you. Over to you, Debbie.
Thank you so much, Anna, for your brief and very concise intervention. Nur Hussan, can you please mute? Yep. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And so we can already see the first demand is, the first call for solidarity is to keep an eye and keep talking about the situation, keep it visible, but also to keep on working to abolish this constitution and to get a genuine federal democracy, because it's a democracy, so that it is a democratic country for all. Is Zunmo ready to speak? Zunmo, are you there? Okay. Yes, Zunmo.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I think Anor already, Anor already mentioned, talk about the demands, but since, so you requested me, so I can just say that again, to share with colleagues here. So I think it's pretty clear already, from listening from Anor. So especially the youth inside the country, right? People from Burma, what they are fighting for is they see this is the time, right? The time, and it's a chance to fight for a greater political change. So what for them is not to go back under the 2008 constitution, but rather to fight for a greater, a substantial political change. So the demands of the movement would be, to abolish the 2008 constitution, because the constitution really grants the role of the military in the politics. So if we still have that constitution, then we will not be able to move forward to the genuine democracy country. And the other one is to, to build the genuine federal democracy, especially for ethnic people, is they want the genuine federal democracy that grants equality and self-determination, as they have been craving for, many decades. And lastly is like Anor mentioned earlier, is to really release those who have been detained since the coup, the military stage coup inside the country. So this is really the demands of the movement, so people inside the country, they have been trying so hard to really get us political change. So and we are happy to see that friends from Sri Lanka show their solidarity and join the event tonight. So thanks to the organizers and also those friends who shows their solidarity in this event tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Zudmo, but I'm not letting you go so quickly. Zudmo, a progressive voice released a letter earlier this week, Zudmo, calling for UN intervention. It was signed by several hundred, I think nearly 200 organizations from the country. Can you explain a little bit about what they are requesting?
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, thank you. So that letter, so that's actually is the second letter to the Security Council. So the first letter, we sent the first letter and then follow up with the second letter after some, not progress on the ground, more violence in Mandalay, in Molamyai, and in Kachin State. So follow up on those violence taking place on the ground. So we sent second letter to the Security Council, demands. So in total, at the end, it's like 400, more than 400 organizations signed on the letter that demands, the Security Council to send a delegation to Burma to really, to intervene and to stop the violence on the ground. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's not forget the call for the UN Security Council to be accountable in many respects and to send a delegation to Burma to actually try and encourage some kind of negotiation and a peaceful settlement of this situation, which is escalating into lethal violence in places where it hasn't happened before. Speaking of lethal violence, while the military was cracking down on unarmed protesters in who were protesting in the civil disobedience movement, manifested in almost all the townships in the country, and very often on a daily basis. The military was also actively engaging in attacks on civilians in the north, in Kachin State and northern Shan State. So it's particularly important that Sai Lieng, a leading committee member of the Peacemaking Committee, the Restoration Council of Shan State, and director of the Shan State Development Foundation, is here with us. After joining the peace process, Sai Lieng was assigned to the Joint Ceasefire Monitoring Committee at union level and was the coordinator for JMC, among National Ceasefire Agreement ethnic armed organizations. So a large number of ethnic armed organizations signed a national ceasefire agreement, and he was involved in being a coordinator for the Joint Ceasefire Monitoring Committee. So I'm sure he was very, very busy doing this. And so I invite Sai Lieng to share with us for a few minutes his insights into what is going on with the peace process, but also what he would like friends from South Asia, Sri Lanka, and also beyond, people who are here in this meeting with us, to do in terms of solidarity. Over to you, Sai Lieng.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Debbie. Yes, I think I would like to express one thing is the beginning of the military coup. What I think is since 2015, NLD getting to power, and since then, I think the Tamador or the military are not happy at all since then. But anyway, I think they have been waiting. And then in 2020, of course, it had been a long time that NLD was opposition for a long time. So when they come to administration, of course, they are not good yet. This is one thing that we have to admit. And also under Constitution of 2008, which is very limited to their power, and this is also one of the obstacle for them to predict. So because of this, and they think that NLD was not doing very well, not only in the country administration, but also on the peace process, which I think that they do not want to give accreditation to NLD, which might be that this is the successful peace process on time of NLD is on power. So this is also one of the obstacles that we have been struggle during the time of the NLD in power the last 5 years for the peace process. And in 2020, I think they might think that NLD might not get vote as much as now, and they USDP might get some, and so this might be the calculation, but due to I think the people are really, we can see that the people are really fed up with the military rule, and so the voter turned to vote more to NLD after Mina Online saying something before election. I think this is also one of the trigger that the voter turned more vote to NLD. So when NLD would get power for the next 5 years with the legitimacy by the power of people, I think they become more worried about their power would be touched, and also they might not be able to get what they want in the next 5 years. So I think this is the main reason that why they're taking coup. It is the vote is only how to say, the reason that they say actually it is not strong reason that it would be. So this is, I think, I would like to say that why the military took power, because we can see from the peace process that what they are thinking and how it happened. So this is the from the experience that we had. That the vote is only the reason that they give. And I think one thing is from the beginning of the protest, I think you would see that people are beating their pot at home, and then from the beginning, no one think that anyone would come out on the street. But when people come out to the street, I think the first they have demand is to release and also to realize their vote. On that time, I think in the ethnic area, we are still in doubt that how the protest would go on. So I think quite many of the people are in doubt. But when more people join to the protest, and also more demand are added, and also one thing is by the coordination of from us and also the demonstrator. I think more demand, and also what ethnic are also demanding, such as like abolishing 2008, and also to set up the country for the federal union and extra. So because of this, and one thing is, even we are not the same voice yet on that time, but what we are the same command we have is to overthrow the military ruler or military dictatorship. I think this is no doubt. Everyone really do not want it. So this is the common aim that we have together, and other aim that that we have to compromise would not be very different that we have, because we all want for Myanmar to be peaceful, and to make it peaceful, what we need is the federal and democracy to prevail in Myanmar. So I think for the moment in the people in Shan State have joined as much as the people all across the country. And so far, as much as I get the list, I think more than 80 people have been arrested in Shan State. Of course, mostly are NLD member, but there are also some people who are famous in the society have been also arrested, and I think have been sentenced to jail. One thing is also people in Shan State or other ethnic state have been worried because they have faced such of discrimination for a long time. So what they afraid is even in a big city there are a lot of crackdown, and far away, like our state, there would be more crackdown. So this is one thing that people are more worried, which also really happened. So there are some people who also requested, and we have sent them to where our control area. Not much, but there are a few. but some return back when it's not really on a worry time, something like that. So this is what is happening in Chad State, and I think for now people are really united all across the country to call for the democracy and also federal and abolish the constitution. But I think the power of the people with bare hand is not enough. So we do need international and also regional strength, especially your voice and also your solidarity. I think this is very important. I think with the power of the people all across the world, I think we can overthrow this military rule that have been ruled Myanmar for a long time. I think people are really fed up, and especially the young generation who are leading the protesting now. They don't want their future to be in the dark age anymore like before. So I think we really need a voice, your voice, the international voice, and also action, not only voice, action. By that, I think we can overthrow this brutal military dictatorship. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sailang. I have a question for you. You had a key role, an important role in monitoring the ceasefire in the peace process. And after the coup happened, the military junta dissolved many of these peace structures. The National Peace and Reconciliation Center was dismantled. The junta then set up a new committee to oversee the peace process. What is your prediction, or what is your feeling about the prospects of peace? Are we going to see a possibility of peace, or is peace just become more distant given what the junta has done?
So this is one thing that among the NCA signed group, signed an organization, 10 organization called PBSD. We have suspended to implement the NCA. So which means UPDJC or GMC activity is suspended. Even they form a committee for the peace process. I think because we do not recognize them because they taking power illegally, So this is one thing that we do not want to recognize them as legitimized, junta. So this is we have been suspended all this activity up until the progress that we have to see. So in the BBSD we also need to have a regular meeting to see the progress of the protest, and then we would decide that how we should do it. This is one thing that we do, but to keep peace on the ground, so we will still keep as the liaison office to deal with what is going on, especially to be able to avoid the confrontation between Damodar and our in the area. So for the moment, the liaison office were taking role to keep peace in the area. Yeah.
Thank you, Sailang. I invite the audience to type questions in the chat box, but what we're going to do is we have 5 more speakers to speak briefly, and as the moderator, I have all the power to ask a follow-up question. But after that, we will actually open the floor to questions. But if the sooner you type your question, then then you will be in the front of the queue. Okay. Now, Progressive. Earlier we had Zunmo from Progressive Voice speaking, and Progressive Voice was one of the organizations that stood in solidarity with the Rohingya and engaged in international solidarity work and advocacy for justice for the Rohingya. ANO also advocated and worked in cooperation and solidarity with Rohingya women as we went to the UN General Assembly in New York and also to other UN meetings in Geneva to advocate for human rights of the Rohingya and for justice for them. So it is my pleasure to invite the next speaker, who is a Rohingya. Kin Maung is founder and executive director of the Rohingya Youth Association, which works on youth empowerment and human rights advocacy. He has tirelessly advocated on behalf of the Rohingya community to global audiences through media interviews, and I would say also through many webinars and online meetings. So Kin Maung, please share what you would like, what is the solidarity that you would like to see from our friends in South Asia, and also express your solidarity. Please go ahead. We can't hear you, Kin Maung. No, we still can't hear you. Kin Maung, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to leave the meeting and come back. And we will move to Ko Tang Ke, and then you can speak after him. Can you do that? Because I still can't hear you. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to invite Ko Tang Ke, who was chair of the All Burma Students Democratic Front, and Ko Tang Ke was part of the 8888 movement.
Yes.
And when what we are seeing in the civil disobedience movement in the country is giving people a lot of memories and saying this is big as 888, and now some people are even saying it's bigger than 8888. Connie, do you have a PowerPoint to share for Ko Tang Ke? Please go ahead. So while Connie is setting up the PowerPoint, I wanted to introduce that Ko Tang Ke is also a member of the Peace Process Steering Team, composed with 10 ethnic armed organizations which were signatories of the National Ceasefire Agreement. Ko Tang Ke, would you like me to continue giving your long bio, or you would just rather just speak?
Yeah, okay, just. So thank you so much, my comrade, my friends, and then my compatriots, my brothers, sisters. This is the right time. We need to sit together, think clearly, which we are going. Burma has a long history working for the Democratic Federal Union or Federal Democratic Union. I said two words. Democratic Federal Union or Federal Democratic Union. Anyway, all the works are under the military regime. We are playing same boat. Slogan can be different, but enemy is the one. Enemy is the one. In 1988, the boycott we started because of the spark. We didn't like the government. Myanmar Socialist Program Party, MSP. That's why we students bravely went up on the street to fight the government. After that, the boycott happened and the uprising, 888 uprising happened. In 2021, the scenario already changed. The election happened. After that military regime, they took the power coup again. This is the unconditional coup or silent coup. I don't know, this is a coup. We shall not clarify the definition of the coup, but this is a coup military regime. They insult the people's sentiment, they insult the people's support. So that's why. The spark is coming from the election. At the same time, the spark is coming from the, we have to say, coup. After the coup, the boycott happened. CDM movement of the boycott to the boycott happened. If we are seeing this contrast between 88 and 2021, after 32 years, we have been working together for the democracy, for the federal, for the unity, for the self-administration. With our life, thousands already sacrificed. Okay, I don't want to exaggerate anyone regarding about our struggle. But pragmatically, we have to see. In 1988, the boycott is coming fast. The coup is followed. 2021, the coup is fast. The boycott is followed. This is the basic. The conflict of the spark, we have to differentiate. Number two is which way we are going. This is the 21st century. Not like 1988. All the people, they understand fully. They don't want any dictatorship. They don't want any discrimination against any humanity, any people. That's why we have been fighting together. So every second, every minute, we can see on the internet, we can see on the computer. No one can hide anyone. So for the political background, we have to think clearly. If we are thinking about just like 1988, we are very old, we are outdated. For 20 years, we have been fighting. In my life, 32 years, I struggled this military. I struggled with this military for 32 years. I involved in this revolution. That's why thousands of my comrades already sacrificed in this ethnic struggle. We never give any pardon. We are very proud. This is a Burma. So for the political background, we have to think with a sophisticated minded, not like 1988, not like 1962, not like 1947. The age already changing. We are not living without electricity. We cannot live without Wi-Fi. We cannot live without internet. This is the new generation. They are demanding. That's why, okay, I would like to talk to you. In 1988 uprising, we have to form the General Strike Committee because we need to control our own area. At the same time, we need to form the interim government at the same time. But we failed because there is no empty power or empty vacancy for the power or for the legitimacy. That's why we want to fill up. But this time, election already happened just 2 months ago. If we count on the election result, the meaning is it is not result only for the election. It is result for the people's sentiment against the military dictatorship. It is not only winning the NLD, it is only winning for the people. That's why army reject the result. That's why army abolished the elected government. Now, earlier, our friends already said, why military reject? Because if the next time NLD or other political parties, ethnic parties, they are working for the Democratic Federal Union, more stronger than before. It will be more difficult for the army. That's why they didn't get recognized the election result. That's why today they announced 2020 election result already failed. We didn't accept it. This is spark. This is not only rejection the election result, it is insult on the people sentiment. You know, this is a point. Okay, next slide, please. So the political grounds are very different. In my life, we struggled a lot. 1988, why the coup coming? 2031, political backgrounds are totally different with the 1988. We have to think of the people's sentiment. We are working for the people. That's why we have to recognize the election result. It is because the people voted the political parties, not only NLD, but also other political parties. They want democracy. They are very eager. They are hungry. Now, this result already insulted by the military unilaterally. So that's why. Internationally, we have to think of legitimacy. We understand. This is eligible. We have to apply this result to apply for the anti-dictatorship movement. Not only recognition, but also we have to apply it for the movement, for the struggle, for the boycott. This is uprising. I understand. This is an uprising. You see across the country, across Asia, across the international communities, in the ground, everybody are facing COVID-19 crisis, but we don't get any COVID. We get about our freedom. We don't get it. So that's why we need enough domestic and international pressure. Very intense pressure, or we need to impose stronger pressure on the military. Okay, next slide, please. I would like to conclude. There are three main political currents in Burma. One is the CDM-CDC movement, so-called uprising, peaceful protest, just like Gandhiism. This peaceful Lankan. This is one way. Anyway, we will continue. Another one is the legitimacy fight. We have to say, without legitimacy fight, we cannot go for example. Now they took the power with the Administrative Council within the 2008 Constitution, but it is nonsense. Anyway, it is the coup. That's why we have to defend our legitimacy. We have to defend our eligible result. We cannot accept today new union election committee. They announced 2030 election result was collapsed, failed. We didn't accept it. Our people are still demanding on to recognize this 2030 election result. It doesn't mean we are not going back to the 2008 Constitution. It doesn't mean we are standing with the people right who voted the election. We have to clarify. One. Another political current is the international community. Just like my comrade from the Sri Lanka, or my comrade from the South Asian country, or my comrade from the international communities, we need your support. We need your solidarity move to stand behind our people. Sometimes I feel very sad when Sri Lanka people were suffering. We cannot stand with you. because we are also struggling with the military. This time also, we are also asking for the international community, including you. You stay suffer a lot, I know. So that's why international community, we need utmost pressure against this military. Not recognize this state administrative council. To impose all the sanctions as much as you can, stop relationship with military committee or military leaders. This is the way I'm strongly asking. Okay, next slide, please. For the NCA pact, yes, we signed the agreement, two agreements. One is a bilateral agreement. Second one is a nationwide ceasefire agreement. It cannot be inclusive for all, but anyway, it is working by time. Spending years struggle and struggle, more than enough. No more bloodshed in the area. We need to find a political solution through the political dialogue. That's why we signed the NCA. We always demand the all-inclusive, but it never happened 10 years. So that's why all the EAO group, even though different background or different situation, we need to stand with the people this time. At the same time, no concession. Concession means military, they offer something incentive or interest individually and organizationally. If we are dealing with them, but it is not people's sake, just only for the one group or some numbers of the people, some numbers of the leader. Such kind of incentive, we shall not take this opportunity. We don't want any EO opportunists in this time again. 3 is from the EU part. China already talked. We have to stop all the mechanism. It means we didn't recognize politically this military government can give Federal Democratic Union agreement. No. If they want to give Federal Democratic Union, they have to follow or they have to accept. Now the people are crying inside. But pragmatically, we have to think. For the coup in our country, 1962 or 1947 or 1988 or 2021, the coup cannot give beneficial to the people, just only the one clique, one group who are aligned with them. That's why we cannot go back just like that. Number 3 is the key bilateral links. It means the agreement we signed is, yes, we signed it with the government. This is the agreement, not with the Mr. A, not with the Mr. B, not with the Mr. C. This agreement means agreement. And the government have to keep the agreement. If they cannot keep, we cannot work it out. We never break this agreement. If they break it, it is their responsibility. Okay, please, next step, okay? That's why. Where is the dialogue or where is the outlet? The outlet is very clear without any enough pressure. This current coup, we are like click, never follow any demand. At that moment, we need utmost pressure, international and domestic. I don't know what outlet it is going. It can be head to head. It can be leader to leader dialogue. It can be third party intervention. We cannot predict. We are not Pam Sia. Okay, so result 1, result 2, result 3, it can be happen. Okay, next slide, please. Slogans, you already said there are different slogans, but I think it is the same. We are on the same side. We are going on the same platform. That's why, for example, abolish of the 2008 Constitution is meaning the establishment of the Federal Democratic Union. Which one is the first or which one is the second? We have to think clearly, strategically. The maths are very good. For the practically, it is more difficult, I think. So that's why for the slogan, sometimes it can be conflict, but it is not enemy fight. It is friendship fight. For example, in every democratic elections, we are quarreling or we are battling with the works. But after the election or after the birthday, we are together because we are the same. This is a winning. From the friendship fight to the enemy fight this time.
Rajan.
Next one, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, sec.
Sound കാണാൻ എനിക്ക് கொஞ்சம் sound.
What happened? I don't know.
We've just lost the screen share, but please proceed, Tanke. Maybe Connie can bring it back.
Okay. So that's why, at the moment, okay, I have to include. It is too long, but anyway, our recommendation is we need to reject State Administrative Council proposal for the new election. We need to reject. Number two, we need to support the body, CRPH, composed or formed with the recent elected MPs. So we need to accept, to recognize the people's sentiment regarding about 2020 election. We need national unifying government. It is not based on the elected, not based on the numbers, based on the representation of the multi-ethnic representation. At the same time, we need to form the eligible parliament, not only on the elected, but also for the multi-ethnic representation. Just like this government is only for the short term. Parliament is just only for the, what we want is constitution change. Constitution. So it can be constitutional convention. After that, we can write new constitution together. This way, we can abolish the 2008 Constitution together. I strongly recommend this way. I see, if we are going to work it out, one day we are going. But today we need pressure. Without pressure, any demand, we cannot go. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, all the audience. This is my works from my bottom of the heart, from my deepest soul. We work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kotanke. Now we know he's, Kotanke was considered a firebrand when he led the All Burma Students Democratic Front, which was a armed group of the revolutionary students resisting the military regime during the 888 uprising, and he's still speaking with the fire of 8888 as though he's still that age back in 1988, 32 years ago. Now, one, I always say in crisis, there is consolation. In this crisis, the consolation is that friends from different parts of the Burma movement, from different ethnic groups, friends from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, friends from Canada, from Wales, where else? Friends from Thailand have joined together today, and I think friends from the Philippines as well. So there's a consolation there that we come together. The other consolation of this coup is that we started to see a stronger solidarity between the Rohingya people and the broader population in Burma. For many years, only pockets of activists were willing to publicly stand in solidarity with the Rohingya, who were subjected to the genocidal campaign of a military, which was headed by the person who is now grabbed power in the coup. So it is special that we are able to welcome Kin Mau. Kin Mau, are you here and can we hear you?
Yeah, I am hearing. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. And Kin Mau, we welcome you. We give you the floor. Please share with us your ideas of how we can work together in solidarity against the military junta.
Yeah, thank you for the participant and our panelists. There's a lot of their speech, which is very important for us to realize. But I want to highlight one of the things in especially the South Asian country. Do you want to see democracy within in the few years in Myanmar, or do you want to? You cannot see 100 years democracy in Myanmar, because now what is the ongoing the situation in the Myanmar is totally destroying our democracy. So another thing, especially the Asian country and the Asia country should be realized one thing. The Myanmar is not much business with the Western country, especially the America or like that. There's not much business country, just they are giving the pressure from that side. But Asia is the one of the main factor to promote the democracy and the human right in Myanmar. This is the main thing we have to realize. What is our Asian country should promote and need your help to recovering the democracy transition in Myanmar. This is one of the very important thing for us. If I want to highlight the Asian country, especially the India is one of the factor point in this the military coup. If they put pressure the Myanmar military, it will be very easy for our democracy transition. So we need the help and cooperation from the India and the China and especially in the Asian country. For your support, we can do something. Without your support, we cannot do anything. This is one of the, if we show really solidarity or the support, you should speak out and we need your help. So there is some participant from this country. I would like to appeal on behalf of the Myanmar people, because I am the part of the Myanmar, I am citizen of the Myanmar, so I have the responsibility to request you to support our democracy transition and to request your country to speak out and to condemn the military coup and non-recognition. This is the very important for your help. If you did, it will be really good for our country, because why we are saying about democracy and human rights, you know, our country is the long decade military dictatorship, which is destroyed for all of the acts. One upon a time, the Myanmar is the tiger of the Asian country. Everyone realized this. But today, from the 1962 military coup, it will totally destroy our country dignity, our country everything. So this is the one of the Asian country we can help you when we need. Now this is our time. We are need for help of you. If you are working or really showing the solidarity or support to our country, we need your support. It means we need your your non-recognition of the military coup. This is the very important, which was done by the New Zealand. New Zealand totally cancel diplomatic connection with the Myanmar. This is the one of the example, the Asian country, to show your support, to show your solidarity. Another thing, if you are working with the military government, most of the people of our country are reject you. You see, when one of the Muslim country, the Indonesia, when I speak little bit for what the military, the people, especially the Myanmar Muslim, stand against the ambassador of the Indonesia. This is the example. When Singapore, the foreign minister, speak little bit about the military, not to support sanction the economics. At that time, the people of the Myanmar stand against the Sri Lanka ambassador. Like that, there is a lot of lesson from the people showing, if you do not support us, we are against you. This is the thing I repeatedly again, if you are showing your real support or solidarity, we need your help. Another thing, if the Myanmar is ongoing the military coup, it will one of the national threat, especially the ASEAN country. Even the India should be realized. This one of the thing, because India is also one of the bordering country of the Myanmar. If I want to highlight directly geopolitics, the India and the China are not the well diplomatic relative. This is the one of the India should be considered. This is one of my personal suggestion to the Asian country to realize what is their standard in now. Another thing, Myanmar is the basically very engaged economically or politically and the health in the Asian country. This is the one of the Asian country issue because we are one of the society. Asian men, we are one of the society. So in our country happening some injustice, this is the same injustice happening in your country. So we are like you to support really by showing your solidarity. Another thing I want to highlight, you know, the Myanmar, which is one of the head of the country, he's one of the genocidal, the criminal. World need him today or tomorrow. If we are supporting him, it will be according to the human rights law, according to international law, it will be supporting directly to the ethnic cleansing, the genocide, the Rohingya and other ethnic minority, because he is the head of the country now. If you recognize him, it will indirectly we are recognizing genocide of the Rohingya and genocide on the ethnic cleansing of the other society. This is the one of our concern. Another thing, the surprisingly we heard today, the new elected election commission they declared the 2012 general election results in bad or broken or dismissed. This is the surprise of our people, of our country, because this is the willing of the people. This is the international organization, even UN General Assembly, UN General Secretary, Antonio Guterres highlight that to accept the people willing. Now the military reject the people willing. So this is we have to understand. Especially, I want to request the Asian country. This is not only Myanmar issue. This is also your issue. If anything happening in our country, it will happen in same in our country. Finally, there's a lot of participants from the refugee camp. It meant we are showing our solidarity. It meant we are giving the support. A lot of our brothers with difficulty in the network and the time they are waiting, they are seeing what we are going to learn and to see. This is the proof in this event. Most of the Rohingya participate. It meant we are part of the Myanmar. We want to show our solidarity, even our support. If I was Burma right now, I am frontline that protect. But unfortunately, I am in the refugee camp, so I cannot stand up anything, this kind of the protect. Finally, I want to highlight about this our panel and our organizer. Please put some statement and push your government, especially parliament member, to speak on like the today we heard from the USA Parliament member trying to do something, drafting the law, and we heard a few days ago from the Japan Parliament member trying to do. This is the example of you. So I want to highlight the people of the ASEAN to encourage your government, especially your Parliament member, where you give vote to be elected. So please request to stand up the people of the Burma. Thank you so much. I want to request another thing. If there is any the participant to speak or to share, if you can give, it is really, I mean, helpful, because they are from the refugee camp. Maybe they will speak on some really their concern. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you so much, Kin Mao. And there we hear a very powerful statement that recognizing the junta is actually supporting the genocide of the Rohingya. Kin Mao has reminded us another important point, that we have to also apply economic pressure. The UN fact-finding mission also raised this in 2019 and exposed military companies that profited from violence and atrocity crimes and genocide in the country. There was a letter sent out last week to the international finance institutions such as the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and others to call for all financial transfers, any loans or grants to Myanmar should be frozen, not to give any more money to the military junta because it was illegal, but also to have a dialogue with the movement and to work out how to continue engagement to ensure that the junta did not profit from international financial institutions' contributions or transfers to the country. So, and thank you, Kin Mao, for reminding us that we have many participants from the refugee camps, but young Rohingya people from the refugee camps in Bangladesh joining us this evening. And actually, there's quite a few questions. I would like to hand over, we have a speaking list. I would like to hand over to our host, because the next speaker on the list is Herman Kumara, leader of the National Fisheries Solidarity Movement of Sri Lanka, NAFSO, and co-host of the South Asia Regional for the Solidarity Forums for Development Justice. So we'll have Herman speak for a while, and then we have another speaker from Sri Lanka before we go through the questions and invite short messages from our friends in the refugee camps. Over to you, Herman.
Thank you, Debbie. I would like to get the final opportunity to speak. So may I invite Tilak Karyawasan, Tilak to speak. Tilak, he is the coordinator of FIAN Sri Lanka, and he's a well-known human rights activist in Sri Lanka and political activist as well. So I would like to invite Tilak to speak at this moment. I will come later.
Thank you, Herman. Thank you, Debbie, and all other friends from Myanmar. It is a great pleasure as Sri Lankan group, as a group, to come up with our solidarity. But as Herman said, we are apologizing from the Myanmar people, the burden what they are experiencing right now, and we support our solidarity, and we offer our strong heart the feelings with you, to share with you, especially you are not going away from the struggle, and that is kind of the strong message to the rest of the world. You are with the struggle, and you are not going away with the big arms and other things with the militaries, and you are sitting with your hard strong aims of the civil society, as a civil society and as a civil movement to be taken up. I would like to mention few things. Historically, we are very close nations, Sri Lanka and Myanmar, because of the Buddhism and so many other things. We were the kind of the similar kind of colonial masters rule our country, and the later part. And due to that, we have a similar system, administrative, and so many other things. And the more than that, in last 30 years, we have experiencing how military is dividing the country and how they are pressurizing to the people. Because we had a civil war, kind of a war. It's created by the politicians because of the different the kind of law recognition of the minority rights and some other the minority people's the considerations, and it having a similarity, even though we having a 70% of Buddhists in the country, and there are nearly 80%, I think, the Buddhist in Myanmar. There are growing religious the kind of extremist groups in the both countries right now. They are not bothering, or they are not upset when the coup are coming to the power. It was the similar experience in the Sri Lanka. The Buddhist monks are helping to the military regimes to continue the kind of the different pressuring to the civil society. It was always the religion has misused by the military groups to divide the people as well. And you see the last 30 years when we doing the peace process in the country, the bigger threat was the Buddhist monk. And because of they were extreme kind of way, and they are trying to stop different peace effort, and they are hinder way. They are supporting to the nationalism and using by the military the blessing of the military activities. And therefore, I can see some of the similarities also happening in Burma. And
I agree with you.
Yeah, I heard many things. The military is getting the Buddhist kind of a support in this situation, and promoting their activities and justifying activities to the ordinary people. And in this way, and we actually earlier we called Burma, and before that we call it to you the Ramanya Rata. The Ramanya is one of our Buddhist chapter in Sri Lanka. Ramanya is a kind of the historical praise where we, when we lost our Buddhism, we got from you, and when you lost the Buddhism, yeah, when you lost the Buddhism, we were supporting some.
We set up together. We set up together.
Yeah, but in this situation, how we can think about, because we know the recently we have experienced during the 2014, we know 969 movement in your country. The famous Buddhist monk Viratu came down here, and he was supporting to the military way of Buddhist activities in the country. And we have a similar type of movement in Sri Lanka called Buddhu Bala Sena. It's a kind of a nasty group who try to divide the Buddhist groups with the other religious and ethnic groups. And it is similarly, we have heard it is happening in there as well. And Viratu is behind of some of military the groups, and we have heard that he is playing a kind of a major role in this situation. And we, in the other side, this as a civil society, we have to think about how to stop in future this religious the extremist group. If not, even though we are taken up from the coup, and they will be a main threat, and they will be justifying the military activities and all other things. And therefore, I think as a civil society for the both countries, we have to exchange our experiences and how to go beyond on these issues. And again, this conflict, the resolution, the different the experience what we had in the last 30 years, we think there should be a constitution movement to go away from this the kind of holes in your constitution, and there should be a process to start from the your civil society to get together, and immediately after that it has to be done with the many international pressure. I think in this situation, without taking much time, I was thinking whether as a civil society groups across Asia, with us today, can we extend these groups into the international level, and will help to bring these lobby activities to the different UN agencies, different countries, and different the organization like ASEAN, and ask the ASEAN leaders to come up on behalf of the Burma, the politicians, and look at the ensuring the opportunities to the democracy within the country and across the Asia. My friend who was speaking just before, and he was saying some of the countries who can be contribute. Of course, they will be contribute because they are in behind this military coup as well. Like China, I can definitely say, and they are supporting to the militaries as they did it to us in the back. And later on, they are grabbing our resources one by one, and that is their strategy. And this has to be keep in your mind, but the same time, we have to get together with those who are we can collect into the different levels to bring this movement further. And I was proposing whether we can think about to have an international kind of a solidarity group, which we can take up some different lobbies and different responsibilities to help the Burma civil society in this kind of the difficult situations. Thank you very much. And we are extending our Sri Lankan Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, Hindus solidarity, not as one group, all our ethnic groups to your country in this the difficult situation. Thank you very much.
Kotanke is very keen to say something, but we are coming to the last 4 minutes of this session, and we can already see the time has flown by so quickly.
Yes.
And I think it is very clear that we need to have another dialogue to be able to have this further discussion, Kotanke.
Yes.
So before I hand over to Herman, before I finish my job as the moderator, I would like to acknowledge the messages of solidarity from Arundhati.
We are really apologize from our Rohingya friends, comrades, because when you people came as refugees into my country, in Sri Lanka at that time. As Tilak said, some of the Buddhist monks, they were really, really nasty, and they were attempted to chase them away. So actually we don't understand the situation of the people who are suffering. Though we are calling this, both the countries as Buddhist countries, we don't practice the values of the Buddhism. So the spirit of the Buddhism is gone. And basically the Buddhist monks are not really behaving as the basic teachings of Lord Buddha. So that is one of the major problem that we are facing. Otherwise, this sort of things would never happen. So in that context, we know we all need to unitedly work together and fight together. So we are fully endorsed what you have clearly said and what you demanded. So you won't have a federal constitution. So we fully support to that. And also we want the military to go back to their barracks and hand over this to civil administration, to have a new election and a government to form, and stop all the atrocities, all the violations of the people, and we all are united. And as Debbie rightly said, our participants could not speak. Maybe 1.5 hours is not enough, Debbie. So we need more time, Tilak. We need to spend more time for this type of dialogue. So actually we have a lot to share and a lot to thought. Maybe many of our friends are still waiting and want to share a lot of things. So we cannot spare more time, as the time is very rapidly moved. And I saw the enthusiasm, courage, and also the grievances that you shared. So we all share this situation. So as Sri Lankans, not only Sri Lankans, but also Asians, South Asians, and beyond, we all are with you, my friends, comrades. We share your situation. We share your grievances. We will be with you. Let us see how we can work together, how we can move forward.
Yes, it is not political game. It is not political race. It is a human race.
Yes, we are fighting for the humanity. So we all are with you, friends. So in solidarity, let's continue this dialogue, continue this protest, and you will win. The people will win at the end. So that is the mission.
Okay, please open the video. This is not political game. This is not only political race. This is a human race. We have to fight for the human dignity. Good. Thank you so much, Devi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. I think we can do this next week. I think we should talk to each other every week.
Yes. At the same time.
Let's do that.
Okay, I'm not ready, but if I'm okay. Now I'm very sad. Many people die on the street in my hometown.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Stay
Bye-bye.
strong.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Stay
you.
strong. Stay strong, Devi. Stay strong.
I will. And you too. Take care.
Thank you so much. I leave. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye, Constanza. Bye-bye, Herman. Bye, everybody. Bye, Dr.
Bye-bye,
Adi.
Debbie.
Bye.